Hello children, in the previous lecture related to electrostatics, you already learned about electric force, electric field intensity and electric potential. In today's lecture, you will be learning about electrical capacity or capacitance and electrical capacitor or condenser. This is the second part of electrostatics. In first part you learned about those topics. Today we will be starting the second part. So electrical capacitance or capacity of a conductor, what is its meaning? How can you define the capacitance of a conductor? Capacity means ability to store. So whatever is the ability to store electric charge by a conductor is called electrical capacity. So you should write, it is the ability of a conductor to store electric charge. Now it has been observed that Q is directly proportional to V. Here what is the meaning of Q? Q means electric charge stored on a conductor is directly proportional to potential difference V. You see how are they related? Generally we know that V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. So you see here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is a constant. If R is constant, R means size of the conductor, then V is proportional to Q, means V depends upon the charge. In the same way, Q will also depend upon V. So Q is directly proportional to V. If we remove the sign of proportionality and put the sign of equality, we have to put a constant, and that constant is C here, CV. This constant C is called electrical capacitance of a conductor, where C is a constant for the given conductor called its electrical capacity. Or capacitance. You see, this is constant for a conductor, means it is an arbitrary constant which will change if conductor will change. And from here you can write C is equal to Q by V. C is equal to Q by V. Here C is constant. It means if Q will increase, V will increase accordingly. So if you will be asked that the charge on a conductor is double, is tripled, how will the value of C will change? Your answer should be C will not change, because C is constant. So by changing the value of Q, value of V will change. Is it clear? But the ratio of Q and V will remain same. As C is a physical quantity, its SI unit is SI unit of C. It is farad. Farad. It is denoted by capital F. And 1 farad is equal to 1 coulomb by 1 volt. So how can you define 1 farad? 1 farad is the capacity of a conductor if it carries a charge of 1 coulomb at a potential of 1 volt. Have you got? 1 farad is the capacity of a conductor if it carries a charge of 1 coulomb at an electric potential of 1 volt. Now dimensional formula of C. Dimensional formula of C. You see how can you write the dimensional formula? So dimensional formula of C is equal to dimensional formula of Q. Q means charge. Charge is 80. by dimensional formula of V. You see V means W by Q. So it is AT by WML2 T minus 2 by AT. And by this way you can find the value of the dimensional formula as M minus 1 L minus 2 A 2. You see this T will be T2 and this minus T2 will be plus T2, T4. That is C is equal to M minus 1 L minus 2 T4 A2. This is the dimensional formula of electrical capacitance. So have you got the meaning of electrical capacitance? Okay. Now let us find electrical capacitance of a conductor. We take a spherical conductor first. So capacitance of a spherical conductor. Spherical conductor. Let us find this. Suppose this is a spherical conductor with radius r and charge stored on the conductor is q. So what will be the potential at the surface of the conductor? You know V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R. And from here Q by V is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R. And you know Q by V is capacitance. So C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R. This is the expression for electrical capacity of a spherical capacitor of radius R. From this expression you can learn that C depends upon R. Means if R will be more, R is greater, C will be greater. R defines the size of the conductor. It means capacity of a conductor increases with increase in the size of the conductor. It also depends upon epsilon naught. Epsilon naught is the electrical permittivity of free space. If the medium will change, then epsilon naught will change. Epsilon, it will be epsilon. And C will depend upon that. So C also depends upon the nature of the medium surrounding the conductor. From here, C is proportional to R. That is capacitance of a conductor depends upon R, depends upon its size and the electrical nature, means electrical permittivity, nature of the medium, electrical nature of the medium around it. So this is the electrical capacitance of a spherical conductor. So you got the value of electrical capacitance of a conductor when it is spherical in shape. Now suppose there is a conductor whose size is equal to the size of the earth, then what will be the value of capacitance of that conductor? So capacity of a conductor of the size of the earth. Size of the earth means radius of the conductor is equal to radius of the earth. You know, radius of the earth is 6.4 into 10 power 6 meter. And C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught R. You know 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is 9 into 10 power 9. So 4 pi epsilon naught will be 1 by 9 into 10 power 9 into 6.4 into 10 power 6. It will become 6.4 by 9 into 10 power minus 3. If we divide it, we will get it is equal to 7.11 into 10 power minus 4, which is equal to 711 into 10 power minus 6 farad, and it can be expressed as 711 microfarad because 10 power minus 6 is micro. You see, if the conductor is so big as the earth, even then its capacity is very, very small, very, very less. 711 into 10 power minus 6. What does it mean? What can you think from this calculation? That if we have a conductor on the earth, that will definitely be very less than the size of the earth. And if earth's capacity is this one, so the capacity of that conductor will be very, very less than this 711 microfarad. It means we cannot store electric charge on a conductor for some meaningful purpose. For that purpose, the scientists thought to prepare another device, to make another arrangement, and that arrangement is called capacitor or condenser. So let us discuss about the capacitor or condenser. What is the electrical capacitor or condenser? Electrical capacitor or condenser. Suppose here is a conductor and we assign some charge on this conductor. Suppose positive charge assigned on the conductor, and its potential has become high. Now let us place another conductor nearby this conductor. There will be an electrical induction, and here will be negative charge. Means electrons of the conductor will be attracted towards the positive charge, but that will not flow towards this because there is insulating medium or air or vacuum, and positive charge will assemble at this surface. So the potential of this conductor will be reduced due to this negative charge, but will also be increased due to this positive charge. So if we will remove this positive charge, then what will happen? Then there will be only negative charge on this conductor, which will reduce its potential, and we can store more charge. For that purpose, we connect it to the earth, to the ground. And as soon as we connect it to the earth, this positive charge will be neutralized. This positive charge will be neutralized. How? The negative charge, that is electrons, from the earth will come to this conductor and neutralize these positive charges. And there will be only negative charge. This type of arrangement is called electrical capacitor or electrical condenser. So you can define an electrical condenser or capacitor as it is an electrical device, electrical arrangement with two conductors placed at certain distance with insulating medium between them, of which one conductor is earthed. In more simple way, you can define condenser is an electrical arrangement of two conductors separated by insulating medium, of which one conductor is earthed. This earthed conductor is called condensing plate. Condensing plate. And this is called collecting plate or collector. Collecting plate. So a condenser has two plates, two conducting plates. One is called collecting plate and other is called condensing plate. Condensing plate is connected to the earth, means it is grounded and there is an insulating medium between the two plates. Symbol of a conductor, symbol of a capacitor. You see, a capacitor is symbolized by two vertical parallel lines of equal length. Can you remember that this type of symbol is there in class 10? Yes, but there you were having one line longer than the other line, and that was representing an electric cell. So in case of electric capacitor, both the vertical lines are of equal height, same height, or it is also represented like this. It is not predefined that which one will be positive and which one will be negative. It will depend upon situation. So this is the electrical capacitor or electrical condenser. After knowing about electrical capacitor or electrical condenser, we have to think what are the types of electrical capacitor. So depending upon the shape of condenser, of capacitor, it is of three types. So type of condenser or capacitor. First one is parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor. So parallel plate capacitor has two conducting plates placed parallel to each other. Two conducting plates placed parallel to each other, of which one is earthed. You see, this is a parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor. Two plates placed parallel to each other, of which one is earthed. Means this is also a parallel plate capacitor. In parallel plate capacitor, you must remember that these two plates are identical. These two can be rectangular, can be square, can be circular. Means whatever be the shape, they should be identical. So this is called parallel plate capacitor. Second one is called a spherical capacitor. A spherical capacitor. As its name is, it has two spherical cells, two conducting spherical cells, of which one is earthed. this inner cell may also be earthed, then it will not be earthed. So here you see positive charge and negative charge. So this is called a spherical capacitor. It has two concentric conducting spherical cell as its plates. You see the radii of the two cells are different, but they are identical, means both are spherical. After then, third type of capacitor is cylindrical capacitor. Cylindrical capacitor. You see, cylindrical capacitor has two coaxial conducting cylindrical plates, two conducting cylinders, hollow cylinders placed coaxially for a cylindrical capacitor. Negative charge, positive charge. Again you see any of the two, means outer or inner cylinder can be, outer or inner cylinder can be earthed. So these are the capacitors: parallel plate capacitor, spherical capacitor and cylindrical capacitor. So in today's lecture you people learned about the condenser, its types. In the next lecture we will be learning about capacitance of electrical capacitor. So out of these three capacitors you have to learn only parallel plate capacitor in detail, and other capacitor will not be learned in detail. Thank you.